So today on the Geek Corner, I want to talk about why I still believe, after all these years, that the death of Superman is still one of my favorite story arcs in my entire Superman collection. Let's chat about it. Hey there, everybody. It's Rev Kev. Welcome back to the channel. If you would just take a quick moment and hit that subscribe button, would really mean a lot to me. I'm about to hit my next milestone of 1,500 subscribers here on the channel. That means so much to me to have you a part of the community here. So if you would hit that button, it would just warm my heart. And also, maybe just check out that join button as well and see maybe membership might be something you'd like to be a part of here as well, with a bunch of fun perks and a great community that we're building that way to have fun and also be a blessing to other people. So you can check that out. So, as I've shared many times here on my channel, I'm a big Superman fan. I have been collecting Superman comics since the mid-1980s. And recently made the tough decision to stop collecting Superman comics because I just don't like the stories anymore, and it's just not worth putting my money there anymore. So that got me reminiscing about some of my favorite storylines in all the years that I've been collecting Superman, like almost 40 years that I've been collecting Superman comics. And honestly, one of my all-time favorites is still the Death of Superman storyline. Now, this was originally published 29 years ago today. This is the 29th anniversary of when Superman 75, where Clark Kent, Superman, dies at the hands of Doomsday, was released. And I remember exactly where I was when I finally read this comic. I had picked it up on, I can't remember what day of the week it was, but I had it in my briefcase. I was brand new, working as a computer programmer. I was a junior level computer programmer, working downtown Montreal in my cubicle. And I picked this up from my local comic shop and read it on my lunch break. And I actually wept. It actually made me cry. As a diehard Superman fan, it just hit me in the feels, and absolutely loved this storyline. Now, I get it. It was very gimmicky. It was in the news. It was hyped. It was absolutely madhouse. It was pandemonium to get your hands on the black plastic sealed Death of Superman comic. Right? Now, I remember going into my local comic book shop because I'd been collecting Superman comics for 10 years beforehand. And by this point, there were 4 titles coming out for Superman. So there was a Superman comic that came out every single week. Every week we had a brand new Superman comic, and they were good stories. They were good art. We had Superman in Action Comics. We had Superman. We had Superman, the Man of Steel, and we had The Adventures of Superman, all coming out weekly. And so I picked up a Superman comic every week. And funny story, I just so remember picking this one up. In fact, I got 2. No, in fact, I got 3. This one I opened it up to get the poster out of it and the little morning armband that was in there. It was so cool. But I went to my comic book shop and I picked these up, and there was a lineup to get into the comic book store. But because the owner knew me, I was allowed to just come in and go in front of the line and pick this up. So he was ringing up someone who picked up one copy of this. And he charged them $125 for it. The day it came out, this guy paid $125 for it. And this guy was happy to pay it. It was like this massive investment or something that he was doing, right? Because everyone thought this is going to be like the next Action Comics #1 because they're killing Superman. Now I walk in and the owner gives me 3 of them, and then he charges me cover price for each one of them. So I think can't remember what the cover price of this was at the time. It was like $1.25. Actually $1.50 Canadian. So he charges me, I think these ones were a little more, they might have been $2.50. So he charges me less than $10 for 3 of them. And this guy who just paid $125 saw this and he freaked out. He starts yelling and cussing and having this massive hissy fit of why he had to pay so much. And the owner was just cool and he was friendly and he was nice about it. And he said, look, this young gentleman is here every Saturday for 10 years buying Superman comics. I've never seen you before. I'm never going to see you again. For you, it's 125. For him, it's 250. And it was just like, I felt so privileged. I felt like I was in an elite club, that I was able to get these at such a cheap price. So that's just a really fond memory from 29 years ago when it comes to this story. Now, for me, this story was just really great. So it was like Dan Jurgens and Brett Breeding who released this. And again, for me, the art style was great. The storytelling was great. Now, a lot of people say it was very cliche, kind of introducing this doomsday character coming out of nowhere and being the one to take out Superman. And again, it was very gimmicky, right? That's why there was such a big lineup in the store to get it and pay $125 for it, because it was all over the news. It was all over mass media. And it drove up sales. I mean, up to that point, I think Superman comics were selling about 150,000 comic books a week. 150,000 comic books a week were coming out. And then this one sold 6 million issues. So anyone who's hanging on to this thinking that you're sitting on a gold mine, while 6 million other people are thinking the exact same thing. Right? And so it was a total sales thing, but it worked, and it was fun, and it was a good story. It was a compelling story. In fact, it was the stories for me that came out afterwards that I thought were so well done. Where first and foremost, they started off with Funeral for a Friend and just how the world is impacted by the death of Superman. And then afterwards, and I think there was actually quite a gap. It was almost a year long, 6 months to a year long, where there were no Superman titles coming out. And then they came out with The Reign of the Supermen. And for me, that was an amazing storyline. They came out with some amazing characters that are still used in Superman mythology today. I mean, this is when we first got, John Henry Irons as Steel, kind of like, the guy with the big giant warhammer and kind of the suit of armor Superman. This character was just reintroduced in the new Superman and Lois TV show on the CW, and that show's amazing. And their portrayal of John Henry Irons, I thought, was fantastic. They really did a great job of keeping this character going. Way better than the Shaquille O'Neal movie. We also had the Cyborg Superman, who later on, no, it wasn't the Cyborg Superman, there was another Superman that had come out. He was more Kryptonian, and it turned out he was this Kryptonian artifact called the Eradicator, which was also in Superman and Lois, the TV show. And so there were just so many amazing characters. Like, I loved, for me, Cyborg and Steel were just two of my favorite characters to come out of the reign of Superman. And we had the Eradicator, we had Superboy, kind of this clone of Superman, come out. There were just some great characters who are still even around today in some kind of different kind of form 29 years later. That just really, for me, shows how well these characters have aged. And it's been great to kind of see this storyline continue with Superman and Doomsday. It's come out in animated movies. It's, they've redone it a couple of times now, and both of them have been pretty decent. It didn't get the emotional feel like it did when it first came out in 1992, but it's just been such a profound story. Now, I hear rumors that they're talking about killing Superman again. Are they trying to see if they can, if lightning will strike twice and they could start selling 6 million copies of Superman ever again? I don't think it's going to fly. I think the gimmicky thing today just doesn't work like it used to in the 90s. I think it's just that ship has sailed. I don't know if that lightning can strike twice. Even what we're seeing right now with, the Superman, Son of Kal-El #5, and trying to jump up the sales with that big announcement. It boosted sales, but it's not going to kind of create any longevity. We're definitely not going to see any characters come out of that story arc 30 years later. It's just a guarantee we're not going to see any of the characters from Son of Kal-El in 30 years. That's just my prediction. We'll see how well this YouTube video ages in 29 years. So that's what I just wanted to talk a little bit today on this anniversary, 29th anniversary of the death of Superman. And I'd love to hear your death of Superman story. Man, just share with me in the comments. Where were you when Superman died? Did you read it? Did you pick it up brand new? Did you only kind of get engaged with it later on? Share your story in the comment. Would love to hear it. And again, thank you so much for being a part of the community here. It means the world to me. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button. Just engage, put your comments below, and check out membership as well and how you could be a blessing in some of the work that my wife and I are doing here in the community. And so that's it for today. Until the next video, God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.